entered the parking lot for your destination.
Man, time flies. I remember the last time I was here filming a Halloween video at Buc-ee's, I was also on my way to Halloween Horror Nights in Florida, and that's what we are doing today. We're just making a quick stop here at Buc-ee's. Tom's outside in one of the 100 gas pumps, filling up the van. I, of course, wanted to pop in to use one of the 80 restroom stalls, and then got distracted by all of this Halloween merchandise. Look at this cute little guy. He's got different colored eyes depending on whatever your mood might be. If you don't want orange or green, you could get orange and green. Little Buc-ee's activity book. I don't know what attracts me to these things. Here I am, well into my 40s, and I still want these little activity books. What can I say? They actually have quite a good selection of Halloween merchandise, a lot of clothing options, a lot of fall merchandise too. Not really a whole lot that blew me away as being unique. Of course, here we have this skeleton pillow that has been so popular in all of the stores this year. We have these decanters. I remember looking at these, last year as well. But I have a hard time making complaints. I mean, this is basically a gas station, and here we have all of this fun Halloween merchandise. You're not going to see that at the Circle K or the Shell station, or maybe you will, I don't know. I only have the one gas car. At least for now, that is. One of the things that we're doing in Florida is taking a look at another car. It is a Halloween-themed car, in my opinion, which is why I can justify it. More on that, maybe if we actually make the purchase. I'll share that with you, but if you have any guesses as to what it might be, leave me a comment below. Of course, our main goal is to hit Halloween Horror Nights. We're actually going to spend a few days there and then head on over to Howl-O-Scream. They actually have a couple of different Howl-O-Screams. One's in the Tampa Busch Gardens location, and then there is also the one that is in Orlando at SeaWorld. I've actually done the Busch Gardens location a few times, but I've never actually considered doing the one at SeaWorld, so we're probably going to give that a shot this year. Stay tuned, I may do some videos. I tend to take a lot of video that I never actually upload, so I apologize for that if you're interested. But who knows, maybe this year will be different. We actually have annual passes to Busch Gardens, which gets you into SeaWorld as well. And we're going to be picking up our annual passes for Universal Studios and seeing Epic Adventure. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Monsters Unchained attraction. They have a whole sort of dark universe, I think is what it's called, land, which I have been looking forward to. I've been trying to avoid everything on the internet so that I can experience it for myself without anybody else's opinions skewing my decisions, but I am, again, really looking forward to it. I have to admit that little doorbell actually did kind of scare me there. I'm sure we've seen it before, nonetheless, gave me a little bit of a start, so that's a good prop. I guess with the theme parks, that just leaves Six Flags. I don't have an annual pass to Six Flags this year. I might still have to get a Fright Nights ticket just to experience that. I feel like we're hitting all the big parks this year, so heck, why not? I know a lot of people give Six Flags grief. It's not the nicest of parks, I guess we'll say, but I enjoy the Fright Fest. I think the one, at least here in Georgia, has one of my favorite haunted houses I've ever actually been in. I don't remember what it was called, of course, at this point, but it used that sort of chroma depth technology where you have to wear the special glasses. It's not it is kind of 3D, right? The way they use this special paint makes it pop out and look very three-dimensional. And there was just something about that. I think it was so amazing, and I was very impressed that I found it in a Six Flags park. It was next level, in my opinion. I would love to do something like that in my own display. It takes a lot of artistic talent, though, that I don't have. I still have a lot of work to do on my own display as it is. I'm trying to get these haunted house visits out of the way early this season, of course, so that we can get to work putting out all of our own Halloween decor. I've started decorating inside very minimally. If you've kept up with my videos in the past, you all have seen I started decorating my back staircase. That's a sort of transition scene between my Halloween party and my inside. And I am doing a crow theme, raven, I guess. And if you remember, I used that Lowe's illusionist prop where it looks like he's missing his whole half of his torso, and I'm setting it up so it looks like the crows, the ravens, have eaten his torso away. I think it's kind of cute. But now I guess it is officially September, so I can really start to go a bit crazier inside. I didn't want to upset producer Tom too much by overloading the house with all of my Halloween decor. I do keep a few pieces out year round, but now is the time to go overboard, and we are about to start decorating the inside. I am going to be doing clowns in the living room. I'm not really sure how I feel about having clowns out for 2 months. Not my favorite bit of, decor to look at, so I might wait a bit. I'll probably get everything assembled and just stage them maybe in the basement or something and bring them up when it gets closer to Halloween. But then once October hits, it's time to start decorating outside. I know I was talking a lot about in my garage zone doing the speakeasy, which will be the speakeasy of the undead, and I wanted to use my flame effects kind of like as if it were the underworld. But I think I'm going to use my flame effects outside this year. I got a lot of compliments on it in my graveyard because when I projected the flames on the garage wall, it legit looks like it's fire. It was very impressive, and that's why I wanted to use them again inside this year. Last year in my garage we did the underwater theme, so I had really cool underwater effects. That's why I kind of wanted to go in the opposite direction, and that brought me to my dragons, and I was going to do dragons in the garage this year, use the flame effect, but then that turned into the whole underworld speakeasy, and I was still going to use that flame effect, but now the dragons have moved outside, and now I've decided I'm going to probably move my flame effects outside as well. I think I was a little worried about my dragon display not having enough, meat to it, I guess. So I am planning to see if I can get those flame effects to work in the dragon area. I'll probably have to put up, ideally I'd put up some scrim or something behind the dragons in the trees, but I think that's going to be pricey. I'm going to check out the landscape fabric and see if that's going to work, because I really like to have the flames, like my whole yard is on fire from these dragons. And then I'll probably get a bunch of the skeletons from Home Depot or wherever we can find them cheaply, and have them all tied to the trees around my dragons. So another reason for all of these walkthroughs that we do, got to find the good deal on the skeletons. So I did see skeletons at, the Kirkland store that were, of course they were on sale, so that brought them down to $35 each. That might be the best price I've seen so far. If you have seen a better price on skeletons, let me know, but I'm not sure. They're just the plain skeletons. I know you can corpse them and make them look a little bit more realistic, but that's not exactly up my alley either. So I was thinking of getting the ones from Home Depot. They always have a nice selection of skeletons, and I think they've got some that look a little bit more corpsey. Might be a little bit more up our alley. Of course, we have more store walkthroughs to do. I have actually filmed our Target walkthrough. I filmed it a week ago. And I just have not had a chance yet to put it up, so hopefully I will get that up tomorrow or by the end of the weekend if you're interested in what Target has. I was actually kind of impressed. They've got a few fun animatronics. I am never going to complain about animatronics. Even if they are terrible, it's better than nothing. I actually saw also the Sam's Club has some really cool animatronics this year, and I wanted to film them in a certain store, and I didn't feel like they had enough Halloween stuff, so I wanted to wait and check out another one. When I went there, they had different animatronics out, so I'm not sure what their whole lineup is, but they've got some really cool ones, especially one that's like a skeleton sort of reaper playing the violin sitting on a tombstone. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but oh my gosh, I love that. That would be a fantastic prop to use at the entrance of a display, just kind of like a intro music, kind of like like a overture to the main display. I love that idea. Of course, we still have to make our way back to Spirit to finish filming all of the merchandise that they have and the couple of animatronics that we've missed, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that too. Looks like we're wrapping up our trip here at Buc-ee's, so before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. That's going to do it for today. Really appreciate you all watching. Again, lots more store walkthroughs, DIYs, product reviews, and more coming up soon, so make sure you're subscribed. I really hope you have a fantastic day and are enjoying our lead up to the Halloween season. Till I see you next time, take care and happy haunting.